led to the real truth. One is looked at as a devil when asking too many questions, and they are often rebuked. There are the others who get lost in all of the complex disinformation produced in works such as p.17 and various other novels that claim to be references on the meaning of esoteric knowledge, its symbols, etc. Besides avoiding falling asleep while reading these tales, one is sure to get the feeling they are following someone who has no eyes, guide dog, or cane. They bring a whole new meaning to lost. That of course is for the confused wishing to be witches. The illumined knows of things entirely different. It is nothing like the exhausting sagas and ceremonies of the witches. Direct and constant, 71 page. Contact is necessary, and thus I will reveal how it is accomplished. The 8-pointed star is that of La. To the Illuminati this also signifies all 8-legged insects, such as spiders who weave webs. At the entrance of the Bohemian Grove where their rituals take place it says, "Spiders weave not your webs here," indicating they cannot use magic on brothers, however, the masses they prey upon. This star is also used in their evocation and transportation to Venus and various affiliated locations. Reason 53. This is the cross of Allah. What should be drawn from this is the elite use an 8-sided portal for hyperdimensional travel and as their insignia. An 8 is also known as a double cube or Solomon's temple. 4 + 4 = 8. This star is generally behind the head of Jesus when he is depicted. Reason 54. The gate configuration of the Dome of the Rock and CERN both are portals. The word we must introduce in the code first is the Oa. The Oa has meant since ancient times the gold. As a people we have always been mining gold, whether it was the mines of Nubia, the gold rush of North America, or many of the indigenous tribes throughout Central and South America. It was also known to other beings that the human soul was the real gold. They sought after it within our mind mine. The element gold itself was known to carry a special vibration due to its conductivity, which made it in fact alive and able to channel wealth and material energy. Gold emitted, 72 page. A certain type of energy that kept one on top in the material realm, not to mention what it did to the soul when it was ingested in its monatomic state. Monatomics, also known as orms, was the preferred spirit-enhancing elements of the alchemist. Against common belief, one did not have to be a chemist in order to make monatomics. They were often located in the desert in dry lake beds that the sun had cooked for hundreds of years. Caravans would collect this substance and peddle it as secret salts at values higher than gold. This is the legendary salt worth more than gold. This is also why the pharaohs entombed themselves in gold and were found in Basque reliefs consuming it or being offered it by the people in cones. It has always been the most common standard for currency despite the introduction of more expensive metals such as titanium and platinum. Gold symbolizes the lion who you even hear roar. The Hebrew word Ori means golden light, and there is also the Or and Ori in Orion, the most known part of our galaxy next to the Milky Way. In Yoruba voodoo they evoke Orishas, gods who do their bidding at the cost of various sacrifices. I will not heavily elaborate on this word now. You will soon see in time why the Oa leads to everything going on here in the W, or LD. You have the words originate, or, and create, or could any words be more powerful than these? This is how the trail leads right back to who fashioned it, and they cannot escape it, as you will find. One of the first Egyptian gods, Ta, is anagram for path, which is the word we use to refer to our spiritual quest or personal road. In order for the system to work and in order for our minds to be fooled, we are made to subconsciously believe they are the creators through word play, which they are not. So the next question would be, of course, who are they, and this we will get to in due time. Reason 55. These talismans are voodoo vieves. Amazingly, the elite are also using voodoo, which is another Venusian dark art. The dark forces are in leagues together. The common symbols we use every day mean things much different than we assume. For instance, the heart is the sign of Azuli, another name for Venus. The heart is not a symbol of love but evil. You will see these two snakes associated with the goddess even more as we go, and of course the p.73 page. Reason 56. Another golden age was the time of the dominion of the pharaohs. Eating the gold Orm's philosopher's stone amplified their spiritual stature. Orms changes the cellular structure of the DNA to various fractal patterns of sacred geometry. Aegyptus, who escaped the catastrophe of Atlantis, is who Egypt owes its current name to. He was Atlanto-African. In Atlantis, Venus was the head mistress being worshipped among the daughters of Poseidon. They were known as Hesperides, which also linked to the seven sisters of Pleiades. Amongst them are Aegle, mistress of magic, Erythea, mistress of earth, Arthasa of Hades, Vestals attending the shrine, which was a tree which brought forth golden apples set in the middle garden of Atlantis. 74 PAGE. I will take a moment to elaborate a little more on the code breaking, which is spell breaking. What you search for first is the smallest word of importance that you can think of. Let's take for example jail. Now it is actually the guttural tone and key spelling that you are searching for, as everything is a vibration. That would then make the word JAL. It is of value to go to this extent so you can see all the words that are not so positive but used every day as such. So let us begin. AELAL. This is the word for the intoxicating, mind-numbing drink of poison, bluntly and rightfully called spirits. Reason 57. We have never had a president in history that showed bluntly he was a drunk. This was to send the subliminal message you can drink and still be president. Baal. This is not only one of the main deities of the Babylonians but also the term used when you need to get released from jail. You must be bailed out by the Baal bondsman. It also means to run like never before. Cael. The K and the C make the same sound when solo, thus there is a more deeper meaning. Not to mention X can be manipulated to make this same vibration. What you have here is one of the most dangerous words. Kill, to temporarily terminate life. Deal. Of course everyone loves a deal, but this is what got us into the financial mess we are in now. Think of this, in antiquity there was such abundance, barter was not even the form of transaction, it was giving. We had no reason to even keep food because it grew everywhere and we loved it fresh, especially when we were on the right diets. No wheeling and dealing. EAL or L. As you see, this is the key word. It is also a one-letter word which makes it a core word when pronounced. The Bible says, and the Elohim said, let us make man in our image. This is the controller of the matrix from multiple angles, personifying itself as various deities. L is also an upside-down 7, which is the sacred number of most belief systems. 75 PAGE. Reason. Another depiction of Reason 58. Another depiction LL. Saturn gliding through, always sure to keep the serpent affiliation, sure to keep the serpent somewhere in his depiction. Affiliation somewhere in the this is Sat, Sam, this is Sat, Sam, Sad, depiction. San, Zar, Sab, Sak, San, Sag, Sal, Sab, Sak, Sad, Sag, Santa, Zar, etc. Sargon, Satan, Sal, etc. Sacrifice, Samol, Salamander, Saturday, Samol, Salamander, Sabbath, sadistic, sage, etc. Many of etc. Many of us have these the roots of our these words as the roots of our names. Colonization was truly names. Colonization was truly about deluding and mixing bloodlines. About deluding bloodlines. Fail. Besides its obvious meaning, which is to not succeed, it is also the past tense of fallen. The story is really here. The angels that fell, they are the fallen ones. I will bring up now that most religions still share the same four angels from Catholicism, Islam, and Christianity. Even in Hinduism they talk of Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel. Gael. The Gael with their mystical Ogham script can be found in various parts of interesting history, as their leader Wu-Ten was known to discover America and parts of Canada, setting up trade routes before Columbus was thought of. Wu-Ten is where our word Wednesday or Wu-Ten's Day comes from. This is also the name given to a destructive wind. Hail. Hail again. Besides its obvious meaning, this is also a term used to salute various high-rank officials, especially in the German army. Since in ancient times you would name your forces according to where their power hailed from. As you see in the Bible,